Why am I smiling? Why am I laughing? Because I'm looking down in the green room at Walt and Don, and I know Don's thinking like, "What the hell did I get myself into?" I think that's what he's thinking as he looks at the stream of stuff go by. Hello, folks. Welcome. Episode number 45. 45, episode 45. And Walt has given me the fingers 4 times, which he's done many times before. It's July 7, 2021, after the great holiday of 4th of July. All you patriotic folks out there, welcome. My name is John Peasy, and welcome to Cool Crap We Love, episode 45. And tonight is very special to me because as a kid, I stared and looked at this album cover of this giant thumb with the American flag on it. It intrigued me so much, I can't begin to tell you, in addition to the fact that we have this wonderful guest on tonight who is an American icon in music writing and performing as well, and it all. And he's here tonight. But more importantly, let's get on with the show. Hey, welcome, Walt, and let me bring up my co-host and cohort, Walt Papaleo. Here he is.
What's happening? Let me tell you something. First of all, it's episode 44.
No, it's 44.
No, don't forget, I had to reorganize all of them, so it's 44.
To me, it's 45, but go ahead.
To you, it's 45. Also, you really need to learn how to go from the music into you, a nicer transition there.
Is it really?
It just cuts off and then you're there.
It's like the Jewish thing. Just cut it off and it's right there. Hey, more importantly, you're just doing this you're just distracting me from making fun of your shirt.
Look at this shirt, huh?
That's very cool. Very cool, Walt.
Iconic. We're talking iconic. Listen, I was mad when this shirt didn't have Don McLean on it.
You're right, and it should. You know, as I went down looking at his bio and everything with Don McLean, you got it. You know, I don't know how it feels to be that guy, but in all honesty, to create something and put it out in the universe, and then the universe responds on this level is unbelievable. I mean, it must be. Egotistically, it must have been really cool when you're younger, and then you get older and you get a little wisdom and you look back. I wonder how that fits into your body. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting to think about. I have no idea.
This song, American Pie, and we're going to talk to Don about it. And you know what? We were originally going to do is you and I were going to take the words of the song and try to figure out what he was saying and stuff like that. But we have Don with us. We figured it would be later on. But let me tell you something. The Nerd. You ever hear the band The Nerds? They're a Jersey Shore band.
Of course.
Yeah, right? This is one of their swan songs. This is a song that they end their night with a lot of times because it is a longer song, and it's got a bunch of other songs thrown in there, like when they said something touched me deep inside. You know, all of a sudden it says, "Hey, did you say touch me?" And then they go into the doors. Come on, touch me, babe. Right. So anyway, one night I was down at Jenkinson's in Point Pleasant, and I asked the lead singer, Spaz, I said, "Hey, can you do me a favor? Can you play American Pie?" He goes, "You know, we haven't played that in a long time. We'll play that. You got to give a $100 tip to the bartenders." And I said, "I don't really want to hear it that bad."
Really, you cheap son of a gun, you. By the way, too, when you think about this, too, this 1970, it's an 8.5-minute song. That song also apparently Madonna had redone, too. And it's really good, and really, really good. And anyway, I don't want to waste time with you and I gibberish. We were originally planning on coming on here and talking about iconic music that we grew up with. And the first thing you said to me when you think about music, one is Don's. And the other one's you said, we will rock you. That just sticks in your head. It's one of those things.
We Are the Champions is one of those songs that will never go away.
Right. And there's several others, too, that I don't want to go into it, but I Googled it real quick to see what the top songs of all time. One of them is 1968, The Beatles' Hey Jude, which makes sense.
Hey Jude, great song.
Here's one that in 1978, Les Freak.
By Chic?
Yes.
Les Freak was one of the top all-time songs?
1978 is one of his top songs. The next one, 1977, Bee Gees with which one?
Staying Alive?
No. No.
You Should Be Dancing? Jive Talking? Why do I know so many? Why do I know so many PG songs?
How gay are you? Or it's How Deep Is Your Love?
I said that. How Deep Is Your Love?
I missed it. It went right by me too. Okay. Also, Eye of the Tiger, 1982.
You made me out myself after I said that after the third one.
I think it was the shirt. It wasn't me. But you're right. So
Eye of the Tiger?
Yeah. Eye of the Tiger. And by the way,
this is a stupid list you have.
Look, talk to Google. Sue them.
No,
Too
they're
late.
being
Too
sued.
late.
They're being sued.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's bring on Don because we have Don's only here for a short time, and I really want to get him in, right? Don't we want to?
Yeah, let's get them in.
Yeah. So, and before I even bring Don in, just real quickly, everyone knows Don McLean. Everyone knows he's an American songwriter and best known for his 1971 hit song "American Pie," of course. And he's a great folk rock cultural type performer that started he started at a time, I think, when folk was just coming in, I believe, and that's what I'd like to ask him about. He's a music legend, singer, songwriter, and influential to the folk industry, and was inducted to the Library of Congress. How do you like that, too, as well? Please welcome the one and only Don McLean. Let's bring him on in. I got to switch
Here
him.
I am. Oh, am I there? Yes, there I am.
There he is, right in
Okay,
the
I'm
middle of everything,
squeezed.
Don.
All right, nice to talk to you guys. You seem to be having a great time.
We were having a good time. We're excited that you're here because, again, you're iconic in this business, and we're not blowing smoke up at you. In all honesty, it's interesting to look and stare at. As a kid, I stared and looked at that album cover over and over for hours, the same way I would stare.
Well,
and
I think that it's too bad that we don't have album covers to stare at. They really, you'd stare at them until they almost moved. When you had an album, and now there's none of that stuff. No album art or anything. It's just out there. A million different things. I find it very dull.
Download it. What fun is that?
I know.
I don't even know how to do that. I refuse to learn how to download a song from the internet.
Sounds like you should close the door when you do that.
I would not know how to do it. I don't even I don't have one song on my phone. Not one.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm totally addicted to my phone, so they've got me. I tell you, I didn't really care about that 8 years ago or whatever. I think I had a flip phone or something. Now my world is in that thing. I mean, emails and photographs and texts, and you can look up anything and find anything.
Are you an iOS or Android guy?
I don't know what I am. I got this thing right here, and on the back see I got William Boyd, Hoplo and Cassidy.
Oh yeah,
on the back. Yeah, you went Western Star.
Quick question. Now, you always knew that you wanted to do what you're doing as a singer songwriter, right? You knew this as a child.
Well, the reason is because I was not good at anything else. If I had been a great scholar or an athlete or something, I would have done something else. But I was lucky to have only one way to go, and that was the way that I went. And there's something valuable in keeping going in the same direction for 50 years. You get a long way down the road, rather than stopping and starting. People are always talking about, reinventing themselves and all that. I've never reinvented myself. I just keep trying to tweak it and make it a little better. And because this is all I got, I thought it was pretty good to start with. And so I'm just trying to make it better, be better to people, write better songs. I never write a better song than that one because it's so famous. But, keep growing.
Understood. But how does it feel to create something? Because you're in the business of creation. Basically, you create.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, money is nice, fame isn't.
Is that right?
That's what George Harrison said. You give me the money, and you can keep the fame. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. And I agree with that because money is great. You can help people. You can have things. You can, do good work in the world. If you have that, you can all kinds of things. You have freedom. But fame makes you a target. And you don't really know. Who's going to come out of the woodwork and do this, that, or the other thing. And it's especially at my age, I'm a pretty old guy now. And I would, I use it, and I guess I'm glad I have it. I love having audiences out there. And we did 2 shows recently, and we had big crowds. So it looks like I'm better than I ever was in terms of, my career. It's crazy, but, we've put up this website, the Don McLean YouTube channel with 11 albums and 173 tracks that hadn't been released before. And we've got all sorts of other projects going, and I'm doing things all the time remotely. So, there's a lot more that I've been doing in these last 5 years than ever before. It's crazy. It really is.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I got a great question here.
Uh-huh.
And people probably want to know this. The movie American Pie, did they have to ask you about that?
Well, that was a standoff for a while.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, they were just going to use it, just that title.
Sure.
But back in 1986, I trademarked the name American Pie, so they wouldn't be able to use anything without my permission. They wouldn't be able to create posters or T-shirts or any kind of memorabilia without coming to me. And so I had them, and I waited until just before the thing was supposed to come out, and wrote them a letter, and they settled with me and paid me quite a bit of money. And for each one of those things, they have sequels and prequels and ones that go direct to videotape. Well, I get a piece of all those things.
You get a piece of that American Pie.
I do. I like it.
That's awesome, man. Now let me. Can somebody like Don McLean now? Can you walk down to a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts and without being mobbed? Or
I'm not mobbed, but people know who I am. I don't look a lot like other people. My hair flies around, and I mean, they know who I am. But I know people are very sweet. They're nice. There have been times I'll never forget after Garth Brooks had me out at Central Park in 1997. I almost couldn't walk down the street in New York. It was really amazing. The whole city was focused on that amazing show.
Yeah, Central Park, right?
And we really stole the show when Garth and I sang American Pie. That was one of the clips that went all over the world, and I could not walk down the street. And there again, it makes me uncomfortable. I don't know why. Anyway, I'm very happy with the way things are. I'm just famous enough, and that's fine with me.
There you go. And you got the money.
And I've got some of the money.
What I was thinking about, because I was listening, I grew. We all love your music and Starry Starry Night. It's beautiful. It's actually beautiful music. It's beautiful music. It's
Thank you.
It's inspiring, actually. And
well, the album American Pie is really the from my point of view, from the artist's point of view, and from Ed Freeman's point of view, who was the very good producer of that record. The album is really the experience of American Pie. That's the thing. You should, if you listen to it, the whole album, right down to Through the Grave and Babylon and Sister Fatima, Empty Chairs, Winterwood, Vincent. That's the whole idea. That's the sort of a feel for the song. I wanted the song to be the last song on the record, but they said, "Oh no, this is so important. It's got to lead right off." And of course, they were right. You always put your best foot forward on an album. The first, right off the bat, you want the best song to open up. And so, it was sort of a digression from there. But it's still, from my point of view, that's what I wanted. The whole album is really the experience of the song American Pie, not just the one song.
Don, do you get sick of singing the same song? Like everybody's coming out to hear you sing American Pie. If you don't do it at the concert that they come out to see you, they're going to be mad and they're going to go home mad. Yeah. So do you get sick of singing it?
Well, I'm not on the level of the Rolling Stones, but they can't not sing Satisfaction.
Right.
And there's majors you get. So, if you have, and I tell people, they ask me that question. I sing Crying, I sing Castles in the Air, I sing Vincent, I sing American Pie, I sing other songs from the records that they know. And I don't, as I say, I don't like artists that go to the theater with the express purpose of disappointing the audience.
Good.
And there's a lot of people that do that. They start bitching about this gift that they have, that someone gave them, that allows them to work for year after year after year, play to millions and millions of people who are paying money and buying, drinks and dinner and a babysitter and blah, blah, blah. And they want to hear it. And by God, I want them to hear it.
Sure.
So it doesn't matter how I feel.
Yeah.
Sometimes every song I sing, I hate. and sometimes every song I'm happy. But most of the time, I'm very happy to sing my music for people because I'm delighted that they thought enough of me to come out and hear me.
You get somebody like John. I might have told you this. I went to go see Nickelback one time, and their big song is Rockstar. So everybody wants to hear Nickelback sing Rockstar. So we get out there, and they're going to sing Rockstar, and they had the roadie sing it because it was his favorite song, and I was like, I just got robbed.
Oh, I know. I am just the same as you, just the same as any average American. I want to hear Satisfaction.
Yes.
That's why I came. I want to hear that song. And so I know how people feel. So I would never disappoint people. I would never, ever do that.
John, if you ever saw him in concert, which I did, and I got to tell you, when they sing American Pie and they do it slow at the end, the entire audience takes over.
Oh,
and Don just sits there and listens to them.
He's a great guy. He really has been. He presented me with he inducted me into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. He appeared with me on a TV special I did 20 years ago for PBS called Starry, Starry Night. He recently has given us a wonderful interview for this documentary movie that we're making on the creation of this song. I think people are really going to find this movie interesting because I go over the song and then they go to every location where the parts of the song were written.
Wow.
And it's just, and then, it's really going to say it all in terms of that. And there's plenty about, me and what I was going through, but also what the world was like. I think most people don't remember because they're not old enough really. Now it's a long time ago, but America was absolutely on fire in the 1960s and right through the early 70s. They always think the 60s were tumultuous, but the first few years of the 1970s were the worst. It was the worst time for the Vietnam War. It was the worst time for everything. And all those assassinations had happened.
Sure.
So, they don't really realize how they talk about now or when we had Trump for 4 years. And I said, man, Trump's a day at the beach compared to LBJ.
Yeah. Yes, thank you.
Or Nixon. And those are two guys, right? 1 and 2, LBJ, then Nixon. The country just hated those guys. I mean, talk about divisive. And one was a Democrat, one was a Republican, and just divided the country with that war. And families fought each other and brothers argued and didn't become friends. And there were divorces over, the different positions. I mean, Earl Scruggs and Lester Flatt broke up over the Vietnam War.
Yeah. There's not much difference. There's no war. There's not the same wars happening, but there is that divisiveness between people today with politics and stuff. There are parents of people not talking one another.
Yes, but I think that's a little different. I think that is manufactured in order to keep people divided and to weaken the country.
Agreed.
I think that's a lot different from when we had a legitimate, serious, bad thing going on with that war. And, you have our country, people are trying to cling to the nation, and our boys and girls are in this thing, and we don't want to sound like we're not supporting them. But at the same time, we can't swallow this, and it's just this thing went on for 14 years or something.
Yeah.
This was not a small thing. And it peaked really around the time American Pie was written. So, people were very sensitive to emotion and to poetry. And, Bob Dylan had been around for 10 years at that point. And, the great work that all those bands did in the 60s and everything else, that had to do with poetry, so I was part of the end of that, and we don't really, if you'll notice, I mean, I don't know if you guys ever, listen to really what's on the radio, but it's really the same rhythm thing over and over with a repeated moronic chorus of some sort, and no lyrics at all, really.
Yeah.
It's just like some stuff they're saying. So, but it's entertainment. It's a different kind of entertainment than we wanted, and it's what people want, and I respect that. But I just don't, I don't understand it. It's not what I do.
Where did the folk music come out of, and where is it today?
Well, folk music. I mean, I'm an amalgam of three different things, and you can hear it all on all my records, right from the first album right through to the one I'm going to come out with this year. I have a new album called American Boys, and it's all new songs. And really, there's three kinds of songs that I really know a lot about. One is old-fashioned popular music, the beautiful standards like Ella Fitzgerald or Sinatra or Peggy Lee would sing. And then there's rock and roll. The only kind of rock and roll that I dig and I understand is 50s rock and roll, early 60s. That's it. After that, when things get complicated and stretched out and weird and druggy and stuff, I don't like that stuff. I go right back to Don't Be Cruel, Bebop Alula, whatever.
And those are three chords, aren't they? Like three chords, all that type of music.
Three chords are the best three chords in the world: E, A, and B seventh.
Right.
And then folk music is the third thing that I know. And the thing I love about folk music is that it is so useful for people. It's not just entertainment, In the world of folk music, there are love songs, there are work songs, there are protest songs, there are lullabies, there are ballads of all sorts, and there are story songs, about famous characters where there was no photography. There's only one picture of Billy the Kid, but there's a song called Billy the Kid with about 15 verses. And they tell you all about how he died, how he lived, what he did. And
I was thinking about that song too. When you said that, I thought that song.
That's his biography. That was what you got in going back even further. No photography. The only people that got remembered were people who could afford expensive portrait painters to paint their portrait. And everybody else just fell away and nobody remembered them after they were gone. There was nothing to show that they ever lived except a letter or something. But
Mike Morse would have made a ton of money back then.
He drew a lot. Yeah.
I got to tell you something, Don, and this is not when I turn your song on in the car, like I'll blast it on the radio. And I'm not kidding here. I sound just as good as you do.
I'm sure you do.
Or at least I think I do.
Yeah, okay, please. But he sounds
bragging or anything.
Well, I was one time sitting outside a bar in a hotel, a very nice hotel, and I must have been 100 yards away from the bar. And it went through doors to where the bar was, and all the people were in the bar. And I'm sitting out in this lobby, and all of a sudden the song gets cranked up. And they all start singing it, and they're having the time of their lives singing it. And I thought to myself, why do you worry so much about singing this song really well? Nobody cares, Just sing it any old way you want. They're happy,
You should have went over there with them and started singing with them. Have you ever done that? Like done karaoke? And they're like, wow, that guy really sounds like Don McLean.
No, I don't do stuff like that. I should, if I probably should, but
it could
no.
be a television show. Actually, a pretty idea for it, where he just breaks in and does starts singing.
He just starts singing at all karaoke nights.
You know what I'm thinking though?
I know there's a funny show now, and things happen to me. It's just crazy. There's a funny show called Lady Parts, and it's a show out of England, and it's 5 Muslim women who are in a punk band.
How do you know which one is which?
Well, it's very funny, okay, because they write songs and all the rest of it. And the lead guitar player sees me as her god, as her guru, and she has my poster on her closet door when she opens it up, and it's very funny. And so she's looking for a husband, and she's like studying nuclear physics or something, also playing lead guitar. And so one guy comes up to her and says, how are you going to find a decent Muslim man with an old white man like that on your wall? And she said, that's not a white man. That's Don McLean.
You know what I've been thinking about, though, that I really like to ask you this, is that when you create a hit such as the couple that you did at the very beginning, those very huge hits that became so iconically popular, Do you, after when you start to write material for the future, try to recreate,
No,
or do you let go and just
no.
wipe the slate and start fresh? That's
No,
a great
luckily for me, Vincent came out after it, and it became #1 all over the world. So I was able to follow American Pie with Vincent, which is an impossible song to follow.
Sure.
And it basically, I ran the risk of having it completely blow up my career. But you know what? I said to myself, I'm not gonna last a year. I realized that, but I'm thankful. I worked very hard, and I got my shot, and I made the album Tapestry, and some nice songs on that. And I Love You So, Castles in the Air, and then I made American Pie, and I did it. And if that's all I ever do, then that's okay, So I had enough money to buy a house, and I paid for it. I owned it free and clear, and I felt like I'd done all I wanted to do. Basically, I was very satisfied with that. I had no idea it would carry on for 50 more years. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Let me tell you, I'm not kidding. February of 2019, Don was at the theater, and people were fawning over this guy. Let me tell you, they were fawning. They couldn't wait to get backstage because he did a meet and greet with some people, and they could not wait to get back. And I'm going to give you this too, Don.
Yeah.
The police officers that he took pictures with every police officer that walked in there.
Oh, yeah. I love those guys. I love our men, our firemen, our police officers.
So do I.
Very important and very. I saw a video, man. Again, this is me and my phone. Some police officer stopped this car, and it looked like a Chrysler 500. And this kid, he looks normal, like a normal kid, baseball cap, clean, gets out and starts shooting at the guy. I mean, shoots 9 times at the cop, and he never shoots back. I said to myself, man, wow, you never know what's going to happen. It's not a crummy car or anything, with stickers on it. You think the guy's a druggie or whatever, he's going to get out and do something. It's really clean cut kid, and he starts opening up on the cop. And I'm saying to myself, and the police officer could have at least shot the tires out of the car or something. And the guy races off, and the cop's got to follow. I mean, it's you just never know when those guys go out whether they're going to come home at night. And
the first song you thought of was "I Shot the Sheriff,"
or Billy the Kid.
That's what you have to laugh on, John.
No, I don't want to do the laugh. You want me to do the laugh song?
No, but I want to say one more thing, and that is that American Pie with a vocal group called Home Free. There's an a cappella version of American Pie with the country vocal group called Home Free that was #1 on the country video charts for 8 weeks this year.
That must be great.
Yeah, and it was #1 on iTunes and everything else. Crazy.
Yeah.
More royalties. That's all that is.
That buys the second house page.
Keep 50 years later. Can you imagine? Really? And I thought, I'm done. You know what I mean?
It's unbelievable. It's
that Brinks truck next to the Brinks truck from the movie.
But I think that the best thing to do psychologically, if you are in this business, is to really have low expectations. Don't think you're going to be a big star. Then each door that opens, you walk through it and see what happens next. Meet the right people. You got to have an instinct for people. You can't work with wrong people because you'll get you arrested. You'll get in trouble. You never know. There's a lot of bums out there. You have to know who to work with.
Done. We're finished. You got to stop working with the wrong people. Hey, there's 2 questions in the comments.
Some big guys are wrong people. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I believe it. There's 2 questions here in the comments. One person asked whether or not that you actually have a ringtone on the phone for American Pie.
No, my ringtone is simply Irresistible.
Is it really?
Robert Palmer?
Yeah, that's my
great
ringtone.
Song. And Hot Chicks too, with those red lips and the black hair.
There are 2 great videos. Madonna's American Pie video and Simply Irresistible. That's all I have to say.
And also Joe Causey, who's a good friend of ours here, says, I have played American Pie a good 2,000 times on CBS FM. Everyone knows Joe Causey, great DJ from New York here.
Is that Joe? Is that really Joe Causey?
Yeah, Joe. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Hey, Joe's great. He's out there. Everyone's saying hello. Everyone wants to say hello to Don. Hey, Don. Another good thing too about this. What inspires you to create this music? That's one of the things I always wondering about any musician.
Go on.
As a writer, what inspires you?
I have a rule that I sometimes say to people who ask me this. I only write something if I have something to say. If I have something to say. I don't sit down and say, I'm going to write a song every day. You know, Steve Allen wrote 5,000 songs and you never heard one of them. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, Steve Allen was a songwriter. He's a very good musician, but he wrote copious numbers of songs, and the only one I know is the theme from Picnic. But, you know, very talented. But if you want to write something and really you have to focus in on something that's important and that you want to say. And then you've got to have the courage to say it, you know, because sometimes, for example, Vincent, here I am writing a love song about a man. I mean, this could have really been a weird song if I hadn't done it exactly right. Because it's just a strange idea. So
Not in 2021.
You have to know exactly how to do these things so that they are beautiful.
Yeah.
And not over the edge. They're not saccharine. They're not, like, look at, I think about the performance of what's Faye Dunaway in Mommy Dearest. I mean, it like killed her career. I mean, she really did a great job of portraying Joan Crawford, but
too good a job.
She never survived it. You know, I mean, it was just awful, unbelievable. You know, so you got to be careful. You know, whatever you're doing as a performer, about how you do it. You know, like so.
So you're inspired then by what you feel inside that's righteous to you, or at the moment.
Yeah. You know, if I wanted to write a song about motorcycles, I would. If I wanted to write a song about, the Rockettes, I would do it. If I really felt like there was something I wanted to say about the Rockettes and the Radio City and America and something, I'd figure out. But I don't want to do that. But I'm just saying, just threw those out. I don't know where they came from.
Out of the blue. Because I heard the word that the word inspiration is a wonderful word. It comes from in spirit. So I've heard somebody describe it as inspiration coming from outside through the head and then out of the body. So it's in spirit. It's almost a spiritual thing as opposed to.
Yeah, it really is. I say things come in on my radio. You know, I tune in my radio and they come to me. I'm not really very smart and I'm not really very literate or anything, but I know how to use words and ideas come in on my radio. And, when I know I'm getting a transmission, I write them down and I get started on an album. Listen, I'm going to have to go pretty soon. So can I just have another question or two? And would that be all right?
Sure.
Then we want to put your book
we'll
up.
Catch you out here quick. We have a quick question. Would you ever do an updated version of American Pie?
Never. No. Okay. I think like what I try to do, what every artist tries to do is whatever we do, whether we write a song or we make a record, we want it to be timeless. We want it to be perfect. So you have to be a perfectionist. If you're going to be an artist, you have to make a perfect record. That's the last word. All right. Because it's the last time you're going to get to do this. You're not going to have another time to put the song out. This is it. Okay. And then you have to write the song the same way so that it's timeless. So that's the reason why people still like a number of my songs and a number of good songwriters' songs like, Paul McCartney or Irving Berlin or whatever, because they're timeless and they're perfect.
I have one question. I have a question here instead of those people watching. Although we can get to them, Don's going to leave. But Don, who do you hang out with? Who in the business do you still keep in touch with where Don McLean could call up and say, hey, let's go out for a beer?
I have one good friend who's a sculptor. That's my friend. His name is Zenos, and he lives in Philadelphia. And I have my girlfriend, Paris, and we're together all the time. And I have some friends, dear friends here in the desert that I see. And one of them I'm going to go out to dinner with right now. And I don't hang out with people much. In fact, I have to refuse all social invitations usually because it becomes awkward for me after a while. and it doesn't seem to pan out. People act strangely, and I get uncomfortable.
Understood.
Okay.
And real quick, these are the questions we always ask somebody. Silly things, just one answer. Growing up as a kid, favorite candy?
My favorite. Oh my God, my favorite candy. Jesus.
Jesus, I didn't know he made candy.
Wait a minute.
Very good.
I loved M&Ms, I think.
All right.
Works. Yeah. Great. Favorite television show?
Oh, all the Western shows like Maverick. Maverick was one of my favorites.
Bonanza.
No, Maverick.
Favorite music group?
Well, I had a number of those. In the 1950s, my favorite group was Buddy Holly and the Crickets. I also liked the folk group The Weavers. I liked pretty much lots and lots of different people, but the Crickets, I think, were my favorite group.
And movie? What's your favorite all-time movie?
From back then, probably The Searchers.
Wow, interesting.
And that's interesting because that's the reason why Buddy Holly wrote That'll Be the Day. He saw The Searchers, and they say That'll Be the Day all the time in the movie, and then he wrote the song That'll Be the Day because he took that phrase and he made a song out of it. Isn't that interesting?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And you have a book out, right?
Is it a magazine, I believe?
Magazine
book?
Oh
yeah, this is the thing called a bookazine.
Let's take a look at that.
It's in every drugstore, and we found it in the local grocery store yesterday.
Wow.
So it's
like ShopRite, Walgreens.
All over the place. And it's my story and the story of the song. That's what we're focusing on this year, is the creation of American Pie. So that's about that. The movie will be about that. And it's going to be good. And anyway, I've really enjoyed talking to both.
Yeah, that's good. Thanks for joining us.
And if anybody would like to find Don McLean, you can find him right here at donmclean.com. Also,
and that's where he's going to be. His concerts are listed
his
there.
Concerts are on there.
You can just do Don McLean YouTube channel on YouTube, and you'll come up to my channel. And it's got
subscribe.
Hundreds of videos, and you can hear albums and all sorts of things that were not available before. You can buy them too. So
and Don McLean is also on TikTok as well. Always great.
All right,
Don,
boys. Thank you.
You're a pleasure.
Don, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming on. Stay well.
Thank Kurt for me also.
I enjoyed it very much.
Healthy and well.
Thank you. You
Don.
too.
Bye now.
We still got 9 minutes to go.
What's that?
We still have 9 minutes to fill.
that's fine. You and me can
we don't even have 9. How long are we on for? 39 minutes?
I don't know. We started a few minutes late. It's 8:51. So
I got 39:54 right now. We still got 20 minutes.
No, we don't have 20 minutes. We start. At what time do we start?
It tells you how long.
Oh, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, you're right. It does.
40 minutes we're on.
So you have a short. So like I say, so you have a short show. It's okay.
Yeah, short show.
Don is a very nice guy, and I
great guy
stuff here. Really nice man, and
hey, does anybody want to ask us questions?
Nobody wants to ask you or anything. And yeah, they say. Matter of fact, I see the people are on. They're all dropping off like flies
because they think the show's over. Hey, where did Rory go? Rory said, "Good night, fellas." I mean, like it's 9 o'clock at night.
I was trying to watch the comments at the same time by looking at you and run the show, so it's hard to say. But she did say something about she had to go and something about a birthday.
Night, fellas.
Night, fellas. Something about a birthday. I don't know.
I don't know.
Was your birthday recently, Walt?
What?
Was your birthday recently?
No, November.
Here's a question for you in the comments.
What is it?
What's Walt's favorite scary movie?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't really like scary. I'm not a scary movie guy.
I love scary movies.
You do? See, I don't like them.
Yeah.
The Exorcist scared the bejesus out of me for years.
But you know what's not now.
Yeah. Well, I won't watch it now. No way.
Really? Seriously?
I'm in my basement, bro. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to shut this light off. I'm going to shut this camera off. I'm going to go over to my stairs and run up just in case hands don't come out and grab me. And don't yes. So the answer to that is the scariest movie I've ever seen was The Evil Dead.
I have to admit, The Evil Dead was a really well. First of all, The Exorcist was I'm going to go back. Not this is supposed to be about music, but just that we have to do a show at Scary Movies.
We do, and get Bobby Slayton. He's a monster guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you go way back, I remember the first ones I watched in the 60s or early 70s was this one where these people take a road trip with a Winnebago, and they're driving, and all of a sudden they get surrounded by a cultish satanic group, and they put fire all around their Winnebago, and they want to use them for satanic sacrificing. You ever hear? I think it was called
sounds awfully like what's going on in Washington right now.
It was called Race with the Devil, I believe. I remember I really liked it.
I'm going to watch it. I'm not a scary movie guy.
And there was another one called Salem's Lot.
I remember that. Wasn't David Soul in that?
Maybe so.
He was. David Soul. Hutch was in that.
There was another one where at the very end, the guy gives his blood into a jar to help everybody else get over this thing where everyone turned into like these night zombies. I forget the name of it. It was the same time that, well, listen, he asked you the question, not me, so it doesn't really matter.
Hey, listen, I got another great idea. Anybody who's still watching us right now, what do you want us to do a show on?
Thank you, Walt. Good. That smart.
Yeah.
And
what do you want us to talk about?
Why do they call you dumb? Look at that. That was right there.
I don't know.
I don't know why that happened. That's my Corporal Aegon reference right there.
I don't know why they call me dumb, but yes. What do you want to see us do? I mean, we want to do the game shows.
Get off the air.
What?
Get off the air.
Yeah.
Comments. Get off the air.
Get off the air. Board games. What was the other one you said? You brought it up. It was board games, right? Board games.
I want to do a show on board games. I'm going to see if I'm talking to the unknown comic, bring him in to come in and do a show about the Gong Show.
Right. I'm in contact with John Ashton, which was Taggart on Beverly Hills Cop 3.
Right.
1, 2, and 3.
Should get Burt Ward in as well.
Yeah, Burt. I think Burt thinks I'm a supervillain.
This is funny. I want to see Walt's wake. I thought that was a good one. I have to laugh.
Just to me, though.
And who else would send that but a very sane person right now? Wants to see you.
John Semino. But getting back to Don, let me tell you something. Don McLean, his manager was awesome. Well, I think his manager was Scott, but one of the guys that travels with him, Kurt, who I got Don McLean through, it was literally, hey, can Don sign it? Anything you want. Anything. Hey, can Don sign this post? Yeah, give me 5 of them. And Don was really back there. And he mentioned his girlfriend. What did he say her name was? Athena, something like that?
I still Paris, I believe you said.
Paris. Paris is a beautiful 25-year-old woman.
Well, I don't know if you want to be talking about that after the guy did the interview.
I'm just saying, she's a beautiful girl. She was beautiful, and they looked like they were in love.
Get Bill Mummy on the show. I don't think Mummy wants to do any of these things.
Merlin, why don't you make some magic happen?
Yeah, you go get Bill Mummy for us. Hey, see that Dan Knapp said 80s TV shows, 90s TV shows. That's actually good stuff to do. Actually, 80s.
Yeah, 90s. We could do that. I mean, yeah. I think we might have done something like that already, but I think I would really like to do that one, the Gong Show with the unknown comic.
Yeah, I'm talking to him about that. I think he's going to do it, and then we'll see if we can get anybody else from that was on as well, which would be fun.
Yeah,
so we're opening up we're letting people in on our secrets right now. We're telling people,
what?
We're telling them the magic that goes on behind the scenes.
Yes, all 6 minutes of it.
First, I felt like Captain Kirk. We're telling the magic behind the scenes. It sounds like
you know what people can do. People can go to people you see on Facebook and say, "Hey, I want you to go on Cool Crap. Here's the link. Contact them." Anthony Rodia would be one of those guys.
Rodia. Oh, we never thought of him. That would be a good idea.
Rodia would be one of them. Yeah, if someone can get Sebastian Maniscalco. I reached out to today, showed up on my friends list, Louis C.K.
Oh, I would love to get him on here.
Let's get him on. I already put it out to him.
Well, I have great breasts.
Right, I'll look at anything.
Good one there. There's another one that's good there, Nav. Road trips without parents.
Nice, Nav.
That's a nice one.
That is a good one.
No, we haven't had Gilbert. We haven't had Gilbert on. Also, David said Gilbert. Now I'm friends with with Gilbert. The thing is, Gilbert has his own podcast that he does a few days a week with. I don't know. I don't know if he'll do it. I don't know if he will. He won't. As a matter of fact, a few
Why
times.
wouldn't he do it? I don't understand. It's not like he's got other things
I don't
to
know.
do.
He's. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I work with him many shows, and he.
Very eccentric.
He's a soft-spoken, very nice guy. It just, I just don't. I don't think he would do this. I don't think he will. But
I like the road trips with the parents because mine always started off with, "Well, I'm going to turn this car around."
Yeah. That's
how it always started.
Don't let me turn around. Don't let me turn around. And this right? Would be like this. Don't let me turn around. Don't let me turn around.
Hey, Dad, if you're going to smoke, could you at least put the windows down? I didn't say that. My brother Brian said that.
I remember too. The back seat of the Chevy was like 8 feet wide, long, maybe, and you'd slide back and forth across the seats when they made a turn. We didn't wear seatbelts. Yeah,
no seatbelts.
Parents smoking cigarettes.
Dude, do you know? We came home where Great Adventure opened up in like 1976. So we drove home from Great Adventure. I laid across the back window.
Yeah.
I laid across the back window.
The dog head that used to go in the back of the window? The dog?
I don't know. We didn't have that, but I laid there. So I slept on the way home on that back ledge window where everybody puts hats. I laid on that. My sister laid on the seat, and my brother laid on the floor with the hump on his back through his back.
Oh my God.
That's what we did. As my father smoked all the way home.
It was a different time. Walt, it was a much different. As a matter of fact, as crazy as that is, it's a better time.
It's a better time than this. I'll tell you that, man.
What's interesting is that the way Don McLean was talking about how it was such a tumultuous time in the 60s coming into the 70s, and then we compare it to today, and he says, no, it's not the same. It was much more. It was much worse. And I lived in both decades. However, I think now is even worse in other ways.
You lived in 60s and 70s. I was born in the 60s.
Yeah, me too. I'm just saying that we both lived in a period, and I was a kid coming into seeing the war going on in Vietnam and all the devices.
I don't remember it.
I kind of remember what was going on, but I wasn't as aware. But I look at what's going on today with what's going on with censorship and everything else. I think today is just as bad in a different way.
It's horrible today.
There's another one. Memories of Palisades Park. Yeah.
I grew up in Jersey City, which wasn't far from Palisades Park.
Best holiday specials: Rudolph, Frosty, Great Pumpkin, etc. We could do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
We got to do
why don't you remember to tell us this right around Christmas? July 7th isn't really the time for that one.
Get Chevy Chase on. Yeah, Chevy can't wait to do this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Chevy Chase doesn't even know his name is Chevy Chase anymore.
But look, we've done 45 shows.
50.
And we've had a lot of really great guests. Even last week, she was wonderful, that lady who played.
Kathy Garver.
Yeah. And we've had and it was really nice of him to do this as well. It's really, really nice. We've had some really great guests. Really.
Listen, they don't get anything out of this except helping us out.
That's true. They don't need it.
They don't need to do this. They're doing this because they're cool with it.
And now it makes me feel even worse because I've been asked to do podcasts and things with people, and I'm like, and I don't want to do it. I'm like, and
how many subscribers do you got?
But Don McLean will do our show, and it's like,
right. Don McLean did our show. Let me tell you something. If you want to listen to a good version of American Pie, and besides the original, listen to the version by the Nerds.
Okay.
Listen to the version by the Nerds. I'm sure some idiot put it on YouTube, but they take there's words in the song that bring them to other rock and roll songs. If you know anything about the Nerds, they'll sing A Whole Lot of Love by Zeppelin one song, and You Don't Bring Me Flowers the next song, right into Genesis, right into Britney Spears, right into Don McLean, right into Sinatra. I've asked Joe Piscopo. I've asked him 1,000 times.
It's a possibility when he's promoting the book. That is a possibility. Gene Simmons, very unlikely.
That's Simon's, by the way.
Yeah, well,
You're not allowed to write anymore there, Semino.
how's Artie Lang doing? I have no idea right now.
I know what's happening with Artie Lang.
You do? I don't know.
I do. He's getting his nose fixed because it caved in. He has a pig nose and his teeth fixed, so that he won't come out until that's done.
Oh, so he's gonna look back. He's gonna look good again.
He's gonna try.
Oh, good for him. Did he lose weight too? He gained a lot of weight. He had a lot of issues.
I don't think he's. I don't. Yeah, the last time I saw him, he wasn't that big.
Also, everybody
his nose was pushed in.
I'm good friends with Jackie, as you know, and everyone that worked on the Stern Show comes out banged up. They get all banged up after leaving. The one thing you want to do is, the one thing apparently if you work for Stern, you're going to come out, you're going to be a little, coming out.
Yeah, something happened with that. But yeah, I like the road trip thing, like vacations that we went on as kids.
Yeah, I would do that. I mean, first
of all, I'd love that.
Yeah, okay. But what would be the guest for that?
Oh, yeah, let's do the 6 minutes of magic without people seeing it.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. I got one more comment. Let's see. Bon Jovi does a great live version of American Pie from Count Basie Theater. It's on YouTube. Oh, good. I'll check that out.
All right. Well, Count Basie is right there in right by you, right?
Right by me in Red Bank. And how could you not though do a show on the history of ventriloquism? There you go. Speaking of which, well, I shouldn't bring this. I shouldn't tell you this now. No, I shouldn't. I'll wait. Yeah, I have some good news about history of ventriloquism. I will tell you. Yeah, I have some good news.
Oh,
about
you finally getting the operation?
Yes. Yeah. Actually, I had the operation. I'm reversing.
Let me tell you something. When Don McLean was talking about, he was getting the whole political thing going and stuff like that. I was begging you to go get your wife to sit in your chair.
Nope, I wasn't going to do that. I have right over here. I have a Trump puppet, a Hillary puppet, and I have a Biden on order. And I'm not going. And I don't know. I was thinking to myself, I was dying to ask him like a couple things about, because I know where he was going. I could just feel it and taste it.
Yeah, so did I.
And I thought to myself, this is not good. It's not good. Just move on.
Because especially since you and I are very opinionated. After this ends, we have our views, and
that's right. Wait a minute. You say you and I. But wait a minute. You say you and I are very opinionated. We're very opinionated, but I don't talk anything. You're very opinionated.
I'm opinionated. All right. Well, we have the same views, is what I meant.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we share some of the same views.
Yeah. We're going to be very happy in August when. All right, forget it. So I should have brought that up to Don. I said, Don, what do you think's going to happen in August?
Are you talking about Simon Parks and Charlie Ward?
What's happening in August?
I almost said Charlie Fisher. Every time I think of Charlie Fisher, I think of this.
Charlie Fisher. What is that?
It's a little thing. It's a long story. Let's see. Don McLean is the hottest 24 Playboy model girlfriend. She ain't driving to no Chevy to any levy. Very funny, Scott. Actually, now you got me thinking. Can I pull up a picture of? I mean, the guy was nice enough to come on. We want to sit here.
Listen, I'm sure he's proud to have that picture put up. I mean,
okay,
why not?
All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this against my better judgment.
But Lucky Don, listen, good for him.
Walt, it's on your head.
Everything is.
It's on your head, okay? La Fuente del Destino.
Exactly, whatever that is.
From the Odd Couples. Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to look it up. Hang on, you could talk to people there for a quick moment.
What am I going to talk to them about? Charlie
Fisher?
I need to put some comments up or something. I don't know. This is the stupidest show ever.
It really is, and that's why
I used to having the guests bail out on us like this.
Okay, I found her.
Go ahead, put it up.
Okay, I'm looking at her right now.
Put it up.
Oh my
Where
goodness.
do you see this?
Oh my goodness, yeah, very beautiful.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Yep, very beautiful.
You want me to share that screen?
I would love for you to share that and get me off the screen.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay.
Don McLean's girlfriend.
Okay.
See? Can you make that picture bigger? Yeah, see? She's a cutie.
I could do it like this. Oh, that goes into a separate one. Let's see.
Oh.
You see that?
Yeah, I can see it. Purple dress?
Yeah, she's wearing the purple.
Yeah, she's a good-looking girl, man.
Close up. Yeah, very pretty. Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah.
So, well, first of all, why shouldn't he have a beautiful
Good
girlfriend?
for him. Right. Hey,
Yeah.
listen.
God bless him.
Yeah, God bless him. Wish I had a girlfriend look like that.
No, your shirt, Walt, is stupid. Yeah, very funny. Don McLean. Yeah. So anyway, you know, he should, of course, God bless him. You know, he's a great songwriter and he's very well known. And you know what else was interesting that he said that I find strange too. Well, not strange, classically weird is that he said, "Hey, you know, he doesn't really associate with a lot of people. He doesn't get friendly with a lot
Yeah.
of people, and that he's more of an introvert, and that I got the feeling what he said, what he's
He
trying
feels
to say,
uncomfortable.
because of why."
The fame?
Yeah, I think he's saying that he's very well known in the industry, and so anytime anyone comes and tries to get close to him, he feels like, well, there's an ulterior motive. It never turns out well. It's like there's always some like
He did say that. It never turns out well.
he said it didn't turn out well, but I think really what he's saying underlying is what he's trying to say is that because I have my popularity and the fame and money or whatever it is, that any people that try to get close to me want something from me, and it doesn't make a relationship work very well. That's what I think he's saying.
Did we ever? I meant to ask him, but I don't know if I think he gave us the answer, but I didn't get it. What is American Pie about? I know the words. I've sang it 1,000 times. I just don't know what it's about.
Are you serious?
What is it about?
Okay. Would you like me to sing it for you?
Let's see. We got 2 minutes worth.
Okay, so essentially, to my understanding, it's about a dream about America, and it was about Buddy Holly, I believe, and
Oh, when the plane crashed with Richie Valens?
right. It was about all three of them. Apparently, when they got to that plane crash, that was the day the music died.
Yeah, but everybody knew that. But okay, so what does Chevy and a Levy got to do with it?
I don't know. I mean, but it was Richie Valens, Buddy Holly,
Big Bopper, and the Big
the
Bopper.
Big Bopper, and that has happened in 1950 something. It was a day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and McLean, he was a kid. He was a paper boy, and he mourned their deaths. And he wrote that, and I guess inspired by that, you know.
So why is he saying "Bye Bye American Pie"? Was that the name of the plane?
I don't know. We should, you know, these are questions. But drove my Chevy to the levee, and how many people?
But the levee was dry.
Yeah, how many people? What was that? You drove my Chevy to a bar, and then the bar was nobody.
That sounds to me. See, if we were going to do the
Sounds
words of
like-
this, no,
Yeah,
it sounds like I drove my Chevy to her levee, but the levee was dry.
I didn't get that at all. That's not even my universe. I don't know what you're talking about.
But that's me.
Is that the way you see it?
Drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry. I thought he was asking for KY jelly.
You know, you're right. And then as you say, American Pie, of course, pie.
American pie. Everybody knows what pie is.
Yeah, all right, okay. I get it. You're right. Absolutely
Everything
right.
was dry. And good old boys were drinking whiskey and rot.
And
So that means
did you write the book of love? You have faith in God above, and now do you believe in rock and roll? Music can save your little soul. Everyone knows these words too.
you
They're
sing
actually,
them, but you don't know what they mean.
yeah. And how many people sing them wrong?
I sing a couple of them wrong, or a couple verses wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
Buddy
sorry.
was American Pie.
Yeah, that's what we put out a magazine.
Oh, that's why he put out the magazine. Oh, thank you, Sonny.
Josh Blue. That's another.
I'm not getting Josh Blue on here.
Hey,
We
let's
know
talk
who he
about Catholic School Nightmares and Dana Carvey. I love that. I'm a big fan of Dana Carvey.
Yeah,
Have
but
you-
Dana Carvey's never going to do this stupid show.
You know something? He's crazy enough. He might. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know him?
No, I do not know him. No, but I know people.
Know anybody that knows him?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. I mean, Dana Carvey did a great movie, a family movie called Master of Disguise.
I remember it.
Fantastic movie. It was silly, made for families and kids, and he plays like all the different characters in the movie. Like all different. He's unbelievable talent, and I actually don't believe he gets as much to do as he should have. Honestly.
What are you trying to do? Get gigs from him?
No, I would love to. I'm a big fan of
Why
Dana.
all the love
I don't
of
like-
Dana Carvey?
I like his characters. Not necessarily stand up is good, but not as good as the characters he's done. And
Who's the church lady?
You know, it's another great one who's here in New Jersey this week, I believe. Who was the guy who was on Saturday Night Live? Kevin Nealon, great comic, great comedian.
Where's he in New Brunswick over there?
Yeah.
At the soap
Whatever.
factory,
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. Anyway, Walt, we got to go.
There we go. We filled it. We filled in the 20 minutes admirably.
David Spade. Oh,
yeah. Oh yeah. Who is it?
David Jay Johnson talk about soap in the classic '70s shows.
See, now, I think John's in a fight with Jay Johnson. He's just not admitting it.
Yeah, I'm actually friends with Jay, but I don't think he would do it for me right now.
Did anybody pick up on that?
Nobody's picking up on it.
I'm picking up. I'm picking up on something there.
It's a long story. He unfriended me on Facebook, so I don't think it's going to happen.
He unfriended you on Facebook, and you're mad about that?
No, I'm not mad at all. No.
Why would you even bring that up?
He was well. He did. He used to be my idol in ventriloquist.
He unfriended you on Facebook?
I became a ventriloquist because of Jay Johnson.
Yeah, and so why did he unfriend you on Facebook? Do I have to look into this?
You don't want to know anymore. That's plenty. We're way over time.
Does the have anything to do with this?
I have another show to do. We're going to move on.
All right,
we must move on.
Let's move on. Hey, like us on Facebook. Go over and check us out on YouTube and BitChute and smash that button for us. Come on, man.
Yeah, come on is right. Thank you, guys.
Come on, man.
Crap we love.
Crap we loved. Look us up. Yeah. Look us up and smash that button. Come on.
Because when you look at that, you know what that means? This means when you see cool crap we love, you know what it really means?
Stuff cool crap we love?
No, it's like driving your Chevy to the levee. It's the same thing. It means the exact same thing. Well, yeah, see how I did
it does. The levee was dry.
See you next week. Take care.
All right, bro.
Bye.